Good evening. My name's Tyson Wuttunee. I'm from the Red Pheasant First Nation, the Cree Nation, located about 20 minutes south of the Battlefords. I grew up in Saskatoon. I played hockey here in the city growing up, and then I ended up moving to the Battlefords there when I was 13, 12 years old, and kind of transitioned into the res life and played hockey there in the Battlefords. You know, and here I am. So I'm still actually there in the Battlefords in the res, living with my mom at the moment. So yeah.
And I guess right before we started, you were sharing how this book came about. I don't know if you want to share about that quick because that's kind of cool, man.
Yes, Cole. No, I actually retired from hockey in 2021, and I played hockey there for a lot of years. 20 years is what they kind of calculated over the years, and I kind of bounced around in that league. It's called the Sask West Hockey League, and there's a ton of stories. Maybe we can get into that. But how I got in the book was Ken Reed reached out after my retirement, and he asked me if I wanted to be in this book. It's kind of the hometown heroes. So, of course, I accepted it. It was kind of big. And yeah, he reached out. We did an interview kind of on the phone, FaceTime. And he just asked me a bunch of questions on my life and how I grew up. And here I am in chapter 11 in this, one of his books. So I'm pretty honored and humbled about it. And, that's something I push forward to our next generation of kids. Anything's possible. So,
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
That's really cool. So what made you choose hockey? What?
Well, obviously, my older brother, Sheldon Wuttunee, and he played. So it kind of was this something, he was my role model, somebody to look up to in the house. We come from a single parent home. So he played. So mom got me involved here in Saskatoon with the minor hockey, played with the Knights and Barons, and I kind of just looked up to him and
Mm.
followed him. And we ended up playing with each other. It was probably the biggest parts of my life and his life. We won a lot of championships together. We still try and skate together here and there. But yeah, it was just growing up idolizing him, and it was probably the best thing that ever happened in my life, especially being a kid from Saskatoon, single parent, and obviously First Nation too. So it was probably the best thing that ever happened. So,
I guess like more than just a sport. What do you think it helped you with the most? Like,
well, yeah, no, the sport, being involved in um a group setting with different individuals and of all different cultures, especially from Saskatoon and the city, right? You get all sorts of cultures, colors, people. It's built relationships that last a lifetime. You learn those skills being in a group setting when you become friends with people. You got to learn how to respect each other. Um, just the morals and values of life.
right?
Like you're learning every day to be a team player, and it takes a team to win. I've learned that over the years. It's not an individual effort. You got to have everybody on the same page, so you learn how to group together and become a team and a family in that room. And those are the biggest things that I've taken from the sport, and you know based it into my life and my kids' life, and obviously BNK. Like, I've started this hockey thing, and this is what I'm doing, is to teach these young
Mm.
Indigenous kids, the parts of life that I learned. And I know, being on the res, we don't get that, right? We don't get those values and morals and those gifts on sharing your talents. And everyone's different, so I love it. I wouldn't give it up for anything, man.
And what is that B&K?
So BNK, after I retired hockey, I could have went played anywhere I wanted to. As I just thought after I was done that I wanted to give back, like
Mm,
40 years in the sport and all the winning and all the lessons I've learned through life. It's just like, I know I've been there. I grew up on the res. I can relate. I can relate to what these kids are going through and to have a coach or a role model to go out there and take the time and say, hey, you know, let's go do something like let's go play hockey. Let's get in this, it just brings so much. So I started BNK hockey and it's the initials of my daughters, Berkeley, Natalie, and Kenley, and then kind of just
mm,
had a ring to it. So I was like, okay, BNK hockey. So I started it to give back, to give our First Nations kid a chance at life. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I never had that when I grew up, right? I never had an Indigenous person to look up to. And those are the people you can relate to as a child growing up on the res, might not have shoes or pants but that's what I'm doing is to go out there and give them that sense of happiness to say, "Hey, maybe I could be like Tyson one day," or, you know, uh, or set a goal. That's basically what I do, so
right.
but yeah, it's been super awesome, and that's why I do it is to give these kids a shot at something to look forward to, I guess you could say.
I think that's it's nice because not everybody has that mentality,
Yes.
like that giving back
Yeah.
attitude. It's kind of like it's nice to meet other because like I like helping. Like it's
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
it's what
It's in your heart, bro.
right, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like helping people, doing what I can to share what I know, what and then like to meet other people like that
Yes, man.
is awesome. Uh and people that don't give back, it's not like it's good or bad. It's
Yeah.
just like sometimes I'm like I meet people that are so good at something and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, you could like and they don't really have that much of an interest in coaching or doing any programming, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man,
You should.
you should, you know?
That's exactly why I started BNK. Like you just like you said, man, it's in the heart and I feel like I said I could have went and played anywhere and did anything. I had the opportunities, but obviously that's where the drugs and alcohol came into where it was on the res. So, that's where I come in and say, try and catch them while they're young. And, there's just bring that to the table. Drugs and alcohol aren't going to work because it doesn't. It'll ruin your career. It'll ruin your life. And I experienced that. So that's why I do it. I love it and I care about it. And I'm not there for the money. I'm not there for anything. It's just for guys like us to meet new people and
Yeah.
give those little kids something, man. Like that's what they need. And it's awesome to see these kids now at the rink and they're like, Tyson, Tyson, Tyson. Like you said, if you played somewhere professionally and whatever, and they kind of don't feel like they want to give back. And I'm not calling people out here. I'm just, it is what it is. And I can relate. I talk to the kids and yeah, they're happy to see me. It's not matter where I played. It's just that personality and that connection with them, right?
Mm.
So
I know for me, it kind of took me having kids
yeah,
to
yeah,
like realize the importance of
yeah,
because I remember like my whole life growing up, I didn't really care about kids. I was just like
yeah.
people like showing me their kids. I'm like,
Oh.
whatever. And then once I had kids, then all of a sudden now I'm like playing with other people's kids. I'm like, I would
Yeah.
never have done that.
Well, that's try having girls, man. I was made me a big teddy bear, but it's life changing and I'd do anything for my girls. And that's why I do it is for them to have, hey, my dad did this. Once I go on to the spirit world, it's just gonna be like my dad did this when he was before, and hopefully they'll carry it on. Just
Right.
no matter who you are, these kids deserve it, man, because the next generation, right?
Do you have like a moment you remember where you kind of like realized you could,
Make a change or try to.
yeah, kind of like use this vehicle that you had for something bigger, I guess.
Yeah, so obviously when I kinda retired, I always looked up to Sheldon, and he did a lot with youth centers, like the Boys and Girls Club, he worked at a lot, so always went there, and I always
Mm,
you just being there, and it just was in my heart, and that's where I just kinda motivate myself is, like, knowing what those kids because I was there, and
right.
not having skates, not having clothes, not having nice stuff to do that, and you just that's those are the moments I think about is when it makes me try harder and just makes me wanna do it more, especially on First Nations, so.
Yeah. What do you, when you go out to First Nation communities? What, like, what's the biggest challenge for you?
Well, obviously, you're going to a new community, and it's like when I used to play hockey and I played in a lot of non-Indigenous communities, being the only Indigenous guy, so that anxiety comes up and that, long hair and, I don't look Indian, but you can tell by my accent, you can tell that I'm a Indigenous man, so when I used to go to the rink, it used to be like people staring at me in the dressing rooms, taping my stick, like I was the import and, big money guy getting paid to play, and, that's why I kinda stuck around, and the S-Dub was probably one of the best leagues you could play in, and so I stuck around, and then those are the feelings I get now that when I go to these communities, it's just like a rush. I just get a rush of anxiety. Who am I gonna like,
Mm,
I don't know what I'm walking into. I don't know how these kids are gonna but then I think back on how I grew up, and I just instantly connect with them, like, "Hey, what's up?" Really just talk to them like a normal person, and I'm here to teach you. Give me an hour or 2 hours of your time, and I'll teach you something to carry on to the next step in your life or, stuff like
right.
that. So those are the biggest challenges. And obviously driving to the north, it's like 4 hours,
Yeah,
5
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
Rough on the vehicles, but
Yeah.
that's something, I don't care about. It's, I have a nice vehicle and it gets me there and back. So I'm pretty, yeah, those are the challenges and meeting the cookums and mushums that take the kids to the rink and cook us stuff. It's awesome. I love it. And I wouldn't, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it until I can. So,
What's the farthest north you've gone?
um, I actually went to Pine House,
Um,
yeah, up there, and they treated me good this past winter. Yeah, it was so good there. Had a lot of kids, and like I said, and it's not no matter where you played, it's how you connect with those kids. And yeah, they didn't want me to leave. They were trying to come on the ice every
Yeah, yeah.
so the session would end, they'd come, "Hey, can we come back on?" Their gear's on, they're waiting, they know who I am. It's yeah, fish, they send home fish, they put me up in a cabin, everything's just first class, so it was yeah, those are the moments that I will cherish for sure. That's the furthest I went.
That's something I noticed when I went, uh, like even like Beauval and Isle La Crosse, going and coaching up there. And I'm coaching boxing, but then like
Yeah,
I'll hang out with the kids. We'll play basketball. We'll play other stuff, and
yeah.
it's like, man, these kids are athletes.
Yes,
Like just like I can tell that they just obviously don't have the coaching,
yes,
right? So they
exactly.
don't know how to maybe do it properly or to the level that they could. But like individually, I'm just like, man, these
It's
kids.
cool, I grew up I was lucky to play double A and stuff growing up, but when I went to the res, some of those kids are oh, sorry,
Nice.
were better than me. Like, my cousin was an unreal hockey player, and he just didn't give a shit because he had no coaching, no drive. But you put him on the ice, and I was playing development hockey coming to the res, we'd skate, and, yeah, there was 2 or 3 kids that were 10 times better, but
Hmm.
just didn't have what I'm doing now, right? And like you said, I totally forgot what I was gonna say when you were saying that, but that skill. And back a couple years ago, like when I was growing up, I was always thought about these Europeans, like their style and their skill, and that's how our First Nations people, like that's how skilled we are. We just need that push, and that coach or that role model to teach them on what to achieve or look forward to that goal. So I always bring that up. I wanted to share that used to watch the Russians a lot, and I'm like, frick, our kids, our First Nations people are so good. I always kind of look with the Russians because they were so talented and skilled on the ice, and I always use hockey because that's what I did. But you're right. That's why I'm doing it, just to get more of our kids at a professional or the next development level, right? So,
And that's what you're doing full time right now?
yeah, I
Mm.
actually gave up, ran equipment for the last 20 years, had a company, Ties Excavating. I kind of just walked away about a year and a half ago, and I
Mm.
just said, the mental part of that was tough. So I just said, this is what I'm gonna do. This is where the creator wants me to go. And I feel like the creator has something set out for me. So I just been doing this and taking my own time and, mentally taking my time to go for walks in nature. And it's been awesome. I want to keep doing it.
Yeah,
Never know, right? I'm here for a reason.
right.
Sounds kind of weird, but
No, man.
I'm not I'm a cultural guy, but I just feel like there's something.
Yeah, I mean, like, those things, they always sound like cliche or whatever,
Yeah,
but, like, I think there's truth, you know? Like, I just had a guy on the podcast the other day, and he was talking about, he was talking about this righteous path,
yeah,
and he says, like, righteous as in, like, it feels right,
yeah,
you know? So you keep
exactly.
doing it, right? It's like, it's in your heart, it feels right, and if
So
it feels right, like, just keep going. It doesn't feel like there's, like, a
well,
wall or, like, these obstacles trying to, like, push you back. It just feels like it's happening,
so
right?
that's so that to point that out too, like some days it gets tough where like after I was done all these camps and I was so busy this winter and I was done. Like it just almost like, should I, like I'm ready to, like, what's going on now? And then all of a sudden I'm like, should I give up? And then,
Mm,
so it took some time and then all of a sudden, bang, again, it started going again. And I'm like, wow. So this last 2 months, I just took some mental health, um, what do you call it? The word, but I just took some time for myself and I just kind of started hiking and,
just a little recharge, eh?
yeah, and it's been good. I went to Vegas for
Yeah, yeah.
5 days with some kids coaching and, it's just now it's back again. Boom. I'm like booked solid here all winter. I got or summer. I got some camps. I'm skating twice a week here in the city. I go to Regina on Wednesday, and then I'm doing a presentation out on English River as a
Cool.
yeah. So
As a speaker?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did one for the St. Francis grand opening here and right in the hood there in
Yeah.
Saskatoon. And it was like that brand new school, and I was pretty honored to be there and
That's
for them
cool.
to reach out and do that for the kids that's why I'm doing it. I'm not, yeah, this is my path right now and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. Do you get, anxious speaking?
Yes, I did before when I first kind of started. It's getting better. Obviously, you do things 10 times over, you're gonna get better at it. So some kind of new to it, but getting way better and was really nervous that time. And just doing some interviews at NAHC this past tournament for the North America or North National Hockey Championships. What is it? NAHC, so National Aboriginal Hockey Championships. I did a interview with a young lady there and I kind of bombed it. But you live and
Yeah.
learn and hopefully I'll get better at it one day. So
Right.
uh,
It's cool. That's like, it's a nice thing about growing up in sports
Yeah.
is like you're gonna lose, you're
Yeah.
gonna fail,
Yes.
you're gonna stumble, and like sports really helps you have like a good relationship with failing,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like, and like even honestly, even at the beginning of this podcast, you were saying how you've won a lot and you've learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
It's like even how you worded it,
Yeah.
it's not like I've won a lot and I've lost a lot. It's like I either win or I learn.
Yeah.
Right? And I think sports does that. You know,
Yes.
it allows you to lose and get knocked down and just get back up and brush it off and try and figure out how to get better and do better and adjust and move forward.
Exactly, Cole. You hit it right on the button because, you win or lose, but I always like you said, you gotta learn how to win, and I've taken my licks, and I've learned to win by losing, and it's not an individual sport. It takes a whole team to win, and you build that chemistry in that room to win, and that's something I learned over the years. It was kind of like I said, I got to play, came back to there as I was kind of a step ahead of everybody growing up, and I'd always stay on the ice, but then I learned the longer I stayed on the ice, we'd lose. So I had to learn to teach the other kids or the other guys what it took to win. And it's like, I gotta come off, and then you go on, and then I learned the game to learn those times when to go on or go off, or when a big goal needs to be scored, or even show that leadership to the boys and say, like, this is what we got to do. Or, I was very superstitious, and,
Mm,
you know, I, I, I learned to win. Like you said, it's a long road, and I was very humbled and honored to learn those along the way. And that's why I do BNKs. Awesome point. I like that. For you to pick that out's huge, because that's what it is. A lot of kids say, "Oh, well, I lost," and they get really disappointed. Just like in Vegas this past weekend, we had a team that had no business going to the final. We had made it to the final, and they learned they learned to lose. They lost in a double overtime shootout, one player each, and
that's devastating too.
oh man, in Vegas, and we were like, it was awesome. We were rolling, and then yeah, to see them all crying after, and I just had to come up with that speech, and I said, you guys learned a valuable lesson. Winning's not everything. You learn to be together this weekend. Look at, I'm
Mhm,
still here. Other coaches here. You need anything,
right.
take it as a learning lesson. Next year we'll come back. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Even just like uh, understanding how to support each other after that,
yeah.
you know, so
There's
that you
another
can bounce
skill.
back.
Yeah.
And for and so like what I've noticed from being out on indigenous communities on different reserves and um definitely up north too, and you probably noticed it too, is um kind of like the lack of confidence,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know,
Big
and just
time.
very timid, very like they don't want to try new things.
Yeah.
Um, what do you do? What do you do when you come across that?
Good question. Like I always said, you don't push the kid, right? So you kind of got to get the other one started, and then you got to bring the joy and the love to that child or that
Mm,
person, and say, or maybe go sit with them. Maybe they don't want to do it, but you get down to their level, and you just try and bring them to get involved. Like, I'll use an example. Last week, I had a young lady showed up late, but that's where I stop, and I'll just say, "Hey, bring everybody in, kind of regroup," and then she'll come back in. So, it's always, I don't never plan my practices. I never plan, because just like that, you have kids that are shy, that are unconfident, and you gotta figure it out, and you're there and sense that and bring it into a group. And I found it's working. Yeah, so I just it's tough. It is, and It's just being that like I had to learn over the years, and it's just a sense now where, I try to do that with the kids. Even I'm sorry, I'm just jumping in to everything, but I'll use examples when I do my drills. Usually the kid that's the best will go in front. So
Mm,
I'll stop the drill. I'll make the first three go in the back. And the first, maybe I'll pick them out that I know that's struggling and put them in the front. Then I'll demo and I'll take them through it and then they'll do it. And that's where that confidence comes in. And, it's a little baby step, but it works. Later down in the camp or the skates, they're smiling around and then they're right next to me, won't leave. So it's working. I find it's working. So those are just little things that I bring to my camps as well and my sessions. So.
dude, that's good. Like
Yeah,
that's
no, it is. And it's,
because it's tricky
yeah,
sometimes. Sometimes it's tricky,
yeah,
or like when someone late comes in, and
yeah.
then everyone just looks,
So,
and then they're just like, oh,
and I've been there, man,
yeah,
like growing up, no dress clothes, frickin' teased. And I can relate. It's just a natural relation to that. And sometimes if they're late, I'll make them know, like, hey, you're late. You're 10 minutes late. Let's go. Let's do 2 laps. And then I'll kind of make it a game and fun. And then they'll get involved. Or, I never put them on the spot and say, hey, like maybe on the side, I'll say, it's none of my business. I don't know what happens at their home or, I don't bring that. So I bring them on the ice for the hour and a half they
mm,
have with me. And I make sure it's the best time of their life because I was there, man. you know, Being that only Indian on the far bench of the AAA team looking around. There's no Indians in the stands. There's just me and fuck, that takes a lot out of you, man. It doesn't, I never noticed it till I was older. Well, I did, but now you think of it, and that's why, those are the reasons why I never wanted to keep going or struggled with alcohol, drugs, and addictions, whatever, right? And that's where a lot of our people go to because it's just, it's instilled in us from years of abuse. But
right.
those are the things that I'm trying to change. And, you know, I don't know what happens at their home. I don't bring it, but come to my skates and we'll have fun and we'll do what we can in that hour or 2 hours, whatever it is.
So for like for those moments or
So,
those, oh, they probably weren't just moments. They were probably months, sometimes
yeah,
or weeks. But like where you were down and didn't want to keep going, what what did you always come back to make sure that you did keep going?
nothing cool. I had nothing, right? I had no
Mm,
venues to go to. I never had no one to look up to. My dad was never there. My mom. She had three other kids to worry about. Sheldon was the oldest. I was the baby. And you just you couldn't reach out. And the coach, those coaches back then, like I was in a. You look back on where I grew up and when I was playing, there was only three or four natives around that league, so there was nobody to nothing,
not even
nothing
to
at
really
all,
relate to, eh?
nothing. No,
So what about now? Because even I guess how you said like when you first started, you got a little bit like overwhelmed and you had to take
yeah,
that 2 months to go hiking and
yes,
chill out. So now you obviously have picked up some tools and some things you do now.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if you want to share like some tools you use now when your mental health is like getting wild.
That what I learned was to never go to the drugs and alcohol. It's just gonna get worse. That's one thing I want to put out there. And taking the time. Obviously, social media sucks. Stay off your phones,
Right.
but taking that time to get out, go nature's the best healing, I think. Um, Obviously,
Mm,
my sessions do a lot for me. When I go on the ice, it's just you don't think of anything else. And obviously, my three girls, taking them to hockey and just stepping back, going for those nature walks. I did a lot of walking this last 2 months, and it's been the best for me. I'm down like probably 20 pounds, and it's not from over exercise, and it's just getting out, looking around, you know, it's been good. And, it started a little bit of reading too, kind of reading a couple books there, and, taking the time to really try and train my brain a little more on things. So those are the things that help a lot for me.
Do you read like stories, or do you read
I don't,
biographies, or do
uh,
you read like
crime.
crime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the crime. I don't know. It's just kind of catching me. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of been watching a little bit of stuff too online. And it's like, yeah, it's nuts. Don't want to go there. It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
it's helping. Like it's fun. It's kind of, gets you going. But yeah, you know, too, I'm spending a lot of time with my mom. She's getting old. I was kind of a mommy's boy growing up, the baby, and been helping her a lot. Just did her whole yard this week, and I spent all weekend just mowing lawn, throwing garbage, just hanging out with her. So it's been really good.
So when you think about how long did you play hockey?
Um, I don't want to say my age, but yeah, no, it's fuck. I played since I was 3 years old. Yeah, my first
Oh,
time I was ever skating. Uh, yeah, it was three. I learned how to skate at no word of a lie at West Edmonton Mall. The first time
okay.
they took me out was put me on there is what my mom always remembers. So would be about 42 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm very honored and humbled that I don't have any serious injuries. I've got hurt, broke ribs, shoulders, but I'm not aching.
Nice.
I can actually really looking at coming back for this next year to play in the Freddie. So
Cool.
yeah, I'm really going to work hard to make a comeback after this would be 6 years. So, and I have played in a couple tournaments. I played in, like I said, I told you in the earlier the podcast, the guy that was probably the one of the good hockey players that I seen on the res, my cousin, late Stevie, he kind of overdosed a couple years ago. And the elders from the res, the coaches were like, Tyson got to play in his honor. So I played at, the Lawrence Wuttunee goes like, I'm very respectful towards the past, and to play in the Lawrence Wuttunee for honor of my cousin or my brother, I would call him, I played and we ended up winning. So we won the whole thing. And I was retired for pretty sure it was 3 years and came out, played, ended up winning it. We beat Round Lake in the final and then ended up having to repeat the next year, and we lost in the final to Norway House, and I kinda gave up and I let this set it I just sat down in the 3rd and I just let it set in and, I didn't even wanna play no more. I just said,
Mm,
"Have it. Shouldn't come back, right? It should go." So I just sat on the bench in the 3rd and, I played at Thurin Flurry with Round Lake. Um, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and I played in that one just because of Flurry, right? It's kind of a good buddy, and then I played in, with Smudge Pan here this year. He phoned and bothered me. He said, come play." I was like, "No, no, no." And then finally I said, "Okay, I'll come up." So I went to Rocky Mountain House this year, and we won that one. And then I played in the Oscana with Round Lake, and we lost in the final. So I've been kind of getting back, but my main goal is to come back and try and get that Freddie back to Saskatchewan because I know it's off topic, but Manitoba's kind of got our number since I retired.
right.
But it's the truth. And Manitoba's been taking over hockey in Saskatchewan. It used to be Alberta, then we kind of won a lot of years there, probably almost 15 to 20 years. And then since that I see, we haven't won it like since. So I really want to kudos to them. They've come a long ways, but you think of the national championships, Manitoba won both divisions 2 years in a row at the youth championships. And those coaches are my friends that I grew up with, playing against, playing with, and, I noticed that here. My daughter actually pointed out, "Dad, the hell's Manitoba winning all these tournaments now?" I was like, "Yeah, really?" So, that's something I was really thinking about lately, and it's kinda pushing me to play again next year and, try and get Saskatchewan back in the winning circles, I guess, or teaching these kids, right? And I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just that's the way I see it. And we gotta do better, Sasky. So
What do you think s in your mind or your opinion, separates, like, a successful athlete from somebody who just falls off or, maybe has a bunch of talent but
yeah.
doesn't use it?
Um that right direction, right? You gotta have people like us to look up to. It doesn't have to be a guy that's in the NHL or whatever. Like, I'm not familiar with the boxing, but Mike Tyson will say to come out and look up to it. It takes, if you really, I always say there's a why in your life, right? Why are you doing this? Why
Mm,
are you taking the time? Like, you got to figure out that why in your life. And, I never had that. And I always struggled, but I tell these kids, why do you want to do it? And then they'll tell you. And end of the camp, I'll say, why do you do it? And if they have the same answer, that's what you got to stick to. So that's a good question, but it's keep at it. Don't quit. Like I quit and I always came back to the sport because it was always good to me. Look at what it's done for me in life. I'm still here. I don't want to say my age, but I'm still here and it's like, it's given me so much in life. If you have a goal, it might be riding, roping and horses, or don't ever quit, man. Don't ever give up on your dream because, there's so many things in life, but if you love something so much, you just go after it and you keep doing it till you get
mm,
it right, I guess, and work hard.
yeah,
You gotta, especially us as Indigenous people, we gotta work 10 times harder than that next person, right? It's just the way it is in any culture. So I always push that with these kids and give them a goal. Why do you do it? You know, mush them and cook them, or your mom and dad put so much work into it. Why? That's a reason, but why as a person do you want to do it? Maybe.
mm.
Yeah, that's what I do anyways.
It is nice to see how much programming there is now.
Yeah.
Like, there is a lot of opportunity now,
Well,
and it is cool to see because I think it is paying off.
it is. I've seen it so much in the past, like social media is so awesome in some ways to share and
Right.
you see so
Connect
much, yeah,
everyone.
and it's so much opportunity and I love that everybody's kind of reaching out now and trying to do things and it's help each other to help these kids, like they deserve it.
So on the other side of that, then I guess, what in your opinion makes, a great coach?
Obviously the love, right? And the experience goes a long ways, being there, done that, and
Mm,
the con- the connection with the kids. I like I said, you don't know where these kids come from, and I only can relate to them so much, but this generation is I don't know, like it's different than what we grew up with.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm lucky that I have a resume and they know who I am from playing and it's I just feel like I love it and I feel like I know how to win. I learned to win and that's what I bring. If we're gonna lose, you're gonna learn from it and we're only gonna get better. But being present and I'm not so much of a board guy, but I like to what I struggled with is reading the coach when he do things on the board I didn't understand because I was so out of place. So when I do my coaching, I just everything's hands on, or I'll put objects on the ice where these kids are learning so they can learn how to turn. They don't know how to turn. I can't show them or write it out. They're not going to get it. So it's all that experience that I have and, that connection with each individual on that team. You show them respect, they'll show it to you back. And I've been coaching a lot just the young boys, and I can tell like there's a connection there. And they like in Vegas, I couldn't get rid of the whole group the whole weekend. Like they were just
Yeah,
seriously, and I was like more like a nanny than
yeah.
a coach, but it's going to do things with them, being a kid again with them, or if they're struggling, talk to them, or they call me uncle. It's like it's that connection that really, you see these coaches that are succeeding, their connection in the room's huge. So that's what I try to bring life.
Do you remember having a coach that you connected with or
Yeah,
you looked
Don
up to?
Don Hodgins when I was in Bantam Double A, he like, again, I was the only First Nations kid there, but he actually took time, and that's what
Mm,
kind of made me the player that I was, from driving the net, working hard in the corner. Like he was a teacher principal for years at the comp and Battleford, and I always remember him and what he taught me in that whole 1 year Bantam Double A was something that's still in my life today. And that was the only kind of, and growing up here too, I can't say, I had it pretty good in the city here. I played tier one growing up, and, mom could never take me. The coaches would just pick me up.
right.
Lived in Confed there, and obviously all of a sudden they just come to that they knew they wanted to keep me in the sport. But I remember Kaler, Hep, those are people, those coaches gave me a chance at a life. If I never would have had that, who knows where I would have. Crazy kid too, right? Everybody is, but yeah, those are the guys and those are the things you remember and that's what I'm doing now. You don't even realize if I'll go pick up kids too if they don't have a ride. I know it's how
Mhm.
we were brought up. So yeah,
That's how you
it's
know too that what you're doing is good because like like that coach that you just named,
yeah,
he only coached you for a year, you
yeah,
said?
yeah.
And like the impact he left in one
Oh,
year. That's
exactly.
pretty cool.
So going back there, I went to Regina this year to we coached the U15 team. We ended up winning that tournament too with those kids. We had no business winning that championship, and we won just by the coaching. And then
Mm.
all the kids, like it's a youth tournament, all the kids that I went to camps, like were on me. It was like behind the glass, they're standing up, BNK, Tyson, 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 Tyson. Like, I know I'm making a difference and I know I'm connecting with these kids, and I love it. It's no matter where you played, but I know I could have made it anywhere, but I just creator had different plans, I guess. And
Mm.
but yeah, that sticks out, and they're like sitting on the screen. There's like 10 of them. I always take little snaps, and they're all behind the bench, standing while I'm coaching, and like all weekend coming to buy hoodies and just following me around. And then it's not only the boys, it's girls too, and it's take a picture. And I'm not feeling like I'm a celebrity or anything. I just know that I'm making a difference in each of those kids' lives just by taking the time to instill those values that were instilled with me with that coach and how I grew up here as a indigenous kid in this white community. And, that's why I do it, because I can relate to what they're feeling. And yeah, sit on my lap, give me a hug, I hug. And, it's just who I am. I got a big heart, and I just want to help these kids.
Mhm. Is it now that you're doing these programs? Is that your main focus, or are you wanting to coach
Yeah,
teams as well?
actually, this is my main focus right now. I actually did get a job to coach junior A last year, but BNK blew up, and
Right, yeah.
it's like, I don't wanna say, like, I coulda coached, or I did a little coaching there for about a month and a half junior A, and then I just kinda said, yeah, he understood too what I was doing, and he said, "Tyson, just go do your BNK, these kids need it." And I said,
Right.
"Yeah, I'll resign." He said, "We got a guy here ready to go." They ended up winning the championship too, and kinda hurt and stung, but, I know that those opportunities will eventually come after I'm done what I'm doing here, and, I'm never done. I just sorry for saying that. I feel like I need to keep doing this for these kids. I always think of the South and the North and,
Mhm.
those kids that are just who knows what they're doing right now, but yeah, that's why I do it. I'm gonna keep doing BNK for now and eventually get into a coaching role. I'm not that old. So, yeah, so
Quit
that's
asking me about my age.
yeah, I'm throwing it out there. I'm 35.
So if BNK, like, if like the next 5-10 years BNK goes exactly the direction you want it to go, what would that look like? Have you
Um,
thought that far, or you?
awesome, cool. No, yeah, I have. I actually had some guys reach out. So my goal is to start an academy in the I don't even wanna say this because people are so but academy is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 2 good teams right now. I wanna do a U15 boys AAA First Nation team out of Saskatoon that are gonna dominate. Then in BC, had a guy reach out. I was flying home the other day from Vegas. He reached out and called me, said, like, "I got some investors that are really seeing what I'm doing, and they're like, 'Tyson, like, I want you to come up here, like, for 2 weeks at a time and start something down here.'" I'm like, "Okay, like, let's do it. Phone me when I get home." So this is kinda just got home here on Friday, so pretty busy week, but I wanna start something down there, BC, the North and the South. So I wanna have academy going there and here and build and help ages 5 to 18, and
Mm,
then build those things in them to achieve whatever. Our hockey is so good. Like, you see these
yeah.
tournaments, man, and, they've since I've played and, I had the like I said, I had the opportunity to play in them all. I won them all. I don't wanna I did, and to see where it's coming and all these young kids, like, it's awesome. It's something you look forward to, the Freddie here in Saskatoon, it's big, and everyone wants to come watch good hockey, so
Mhm.
you're like, "Let's make it bigger, let's start from the bottom, and it's only gonna get better," and I just feel like I need to keep doing this to help, and I've helped. I think I've done a lot, and I wanna keep doing it, and that's my goal is to, start those academies and, keep our kids moving up the ladder, so
Were you able to make it out here?
I actually did, yeah, I
Yeah.
came in for the weekend. My daughter, Berkeley, she's, plays AAA in Battleford. She's 15. They let her play this year, her and, Aaron Starr's daughter, Presley. I think there was a couple Alberta girls that are younger too, but she played with the Lady Rebels, and I brought her in, and I actually took in the whole weekend and just watching, like, the
Mhm.
first time probably in how many years. I didn't come last year because I was kinda, still. Yeah, I sat there in the same spot all weekend, fricking didn't move, and I just watched and watched and watched, and as you played over the years, you know who's gonna win or who has the team to win, and, it's what it's about. You come to play, and just when Sunday hits, you gotta turn that dial to, do those little things on the ice that win championships, and, those are the things that I watched, visited a lot of people, seen a lot of people. It was awesome. I took it all in, and Yeah, that's the first tournament I watched in a long time, but it was awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Do your daughters play?
Yeah, I got 3 daughters, Berkeley's playing, AAA first year in Battleford. They won the championship this year.
Cool.
They lost in the ESO or to go to the ESO Cup, they lost to Winnipeg, and I got a U15 AA Natalie. She actually made Team SAS this year as an underage. She's only 13, so she made the Team SAS female U18 team. She actually played every game, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And
That's
Ken
awesome.
Leanne, yeah, I got a big, tall baby girl there. She's U13 AA. Yeah, they're all playing pretty good hockey. And then I got an older son, Boston Bird is my son. He just came home from pro and he hurt his knee and spent some time with him during the Freddie. And yeah, it's those are they're all doing good for themselves in sports. So just support them as much as I can. I'm there 100%.
Right.
And when I'm not doing BNK, it's them. So, me too doing this, it gives me that opportunity to help them in their journey, right? And
Yeah,
being
yeah.
there. So
I know for me, when I think about boxing, and I think about my boys, sometimes I'm like, it'd be sweet if they really enjoyed boxing, but then sometimes I'm like, do I want them to get punched?
oh yeah.
But and it's a little bit different in hockey, but like maybe not. How do you balance being a father, seeing your kids play, and like pushing them and protecting them?
Good question. So that something I really, really not, or I guess I don't push them. Obviously I'll give them that talk after hockey, but I never pushed them. I introduced them to the sport. I put on the skates and, here, as a father, you if they like it, they liked it. And just like me, you have the older one, Berkeley, it was always she got to experience dad winning and being on the ice coming. The little ones growing up, they're just babies. So Burke was all for it, right? She looked up to me and she just started playing hockey. So like a cycle. And Natalie comes up, she's the middle child. She's loaded with talent, but just doesn't give a shit. Like she just
Yeah,
goes broken arms and like reckless. She's probably on her fifth scooter. And then there's Kenley. I always say the babies become the best because they have two other siblings to look up to and be better for. So,
right,
those are, I introduced Berkeley and it just like contagious. And it's hockey's our life there at home. And like, yeah, to balance it, I don't push them. School comes first. I had to keep Berkeley home this past weekend because they're schooling. And, they I'm there 100%. And if they need anything, I'll drive there and go get them and just take the time to, you know, talk to them. And, hockey ain't everything. It's not going to be there. But like I said, it's never going to leave you that love for that game. It's never going to
right.
leave you those skills you pick up. So you got to be there as a parent. And, I love doing it too. I obviously give back a lot and they love that to see that. But I do the best I can every day to be there for them, and, that's why I'm living now and doing this, so
That's awesome. It's like
yeah.
it's a really good mentality to have,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, frick, you never know, right? Like, yeah, you never know when creator can take you, right? So,
Hmm.
doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. I just live every day like it's gonna be my last. Cause I could have a heart attack tomorrow or
Yeah.
get hit by a train,
Right.
right? You never know, so that's
Leave
just
like a legacy, right?
yeah.
Like good.
And that's us as native people, that's what I think we live by is every day is a gift to live. I live that I don't sorry, but I live that life where I was put into where I had to have a pension plan of, like bang, 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 here, steady, steady life. It wasn't me. I just said, my heart was here. So now I'm back here. I'm loving it. And I can't wait to see what's to come here after this year and keep
Mhm.
doing what I'm doing. And my kids will learn that too, hopefully. And I do have a pension plan. Like I
but
said,
but but I just started it because I'm super young.
yeah, but yeah, and I'm really young still. So, but yeah, it's like I said, I did heavy equipment. I ran hole for Enbridge for 15 years on the integrity digs, like number one hole hand. And
Did you like that?
yeah, it was awesome. Like every day was a challenge, man. Like digging up live lines
That's
across.
crazy.
Yeah, I was pretty good. And we'd get all the digs, and I just being in that cab and being in there every day and knowing, like, I raised my kids off there for how many years, and I just stepped away a year and a half ago, and I just doing this, and I just,
Was that like pretty? Like
oh yeah,
that's a big change.
yeah, I just knew where it was going, and then when I was working at the last couple years, it was like it was happening, and I just said, I'm done. Like I didn't want to be there no more. My heart wasn't there. So I just said, forget it. I can always go back. I got my class ones. I actually just got my motorcycle license. So I'm just looking to coach and ride a Harley now. So
That's great. That's wild, man. Like
living life, eh?
but like when I think about driving a bike, because I would like to, I don't feel like I trust other people enough.
Yeah.
Like if it was like just me on the road,
Well, yeah,
I would do it. But like
mom's
people
not
are
happy.
crazy.
No,
Other drivers are crazy.
no.
That's the part that freaks me out.
Well, that's like comes with age. Well, still young, but it comes with age where where you become aware of your surroundings. Like I said, you live every fuck who knows, man. I could go out tonight and
Right.
get in an accident. So you just like
Just live.
gotta be aware of what's going on. And I'm not an idiot or anything. It's just like you just never know, man.
When you think when you think of like now that you're kind of stepping into all these different roles with programming, with coaching, and even as a parent,
Yeah.
um because like I always think of like the more of a I guess like a leader you become, right? The more responsibility you have, right? And
Yeah.
the less rights you get, you know? So when you think about like maybe being a role model to these kids, what responsibilities do you think you have now that's maybe different than 10, 15 years ago?
Obviously, the way you carry yourself too is huge, right? I know I catch myself on social media, but I'm at a point now. I don't care what anybody thinks of me anymore because they're gonna judge you anyways. And
Right.
having the responsibility is when people bring their kids to the camp is to they're paying money, or the reserve or the First Nations paying you to do a job, and that's huge for the weekend. You can't go out and take off. You're representing yourself, and something you're working towards, and that's something I had to learn. And those kids are relying on you to be there 100%. So I'm like, yeah, I love it. Those are things that I had to learn as I got older, and the responsibility I got to bring every weekend is huge because they rely on you to be 100%. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's like another, I guess, negative part about social media
yeah,
is people just use it to tear people down.
that's what.
It's like they don't want anyone to do good.
Yeah,
And it's like it's funny too because it's like maybe that person did do that,
yeah,
but they're trying to be better.
yeah.
And it's
Yep.
like you're gonna try and bring them back to this person that they're not even that person anymore.
Yep.
And I just see that all the time, even with boxing, because I coach a lot of people, and how often I get messages like, "Oh, you shouldn't coach that person," and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm the person they need right now so that they can change, or maybe they just
Exactly.
need to be around a different environment to get out of the environment they've been in for the last how many years. And it's like I just know this person from how I know this person, and
Yeah.
I feel like I don't need to always take in everybody's opinions all the time.
Exactly. That's why if you ever watch what I do, I just throw it out. I don't care
Yeah,
because they're gonna one day they'll get 100 likes or whatever, 5,000 likes or whatever. Like next day you'll get one or two, but
right.
you keep pushing on what you're trying to share and don't care what they're think of you because you know deep inside your heart that you are making a difference. It doesn't matter because I just know how people are. I
Yeah,
grew up around that and I just, who cares? I just keep putting stuff out there and if you don't like it, delete.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, or
All I know is like
yeah,
I'm not perfect. I've done some ridiculous things
exactly.
in my life.
Yeah,
So who am I to judge
yeah.
anyone else?
That's
I'm
that's how
just
I
like
think of it, man.
I've probably done worse than you.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
mean.
who knows? I'm like,
Yeah,
I had like party days. I had all,
yeah,
I lived just like everybody else. So I'm not in a position to judge.
good.
And now I just want to help,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've been to the fucking I don't know what you want to call it. Been there, done that. How many times?
Yeah.
Like I said, this last 2 months was pretty tough, but I reset this weekend and I feel awesome. I feel
Mhm.
like I'm going to keep going, right? I got some help in my corner here. She's helping me a lot this past few months here. So I'm going to put in all my work to help her out too. And, she's my cousin and I appreciate her coming into my life. So just wanted to give her a shout out.
Mhm.
Sunchild Law there, Eleanor. She just kind of came into my life here in this last little bit, but she sees what I'm doing. I seen what she's doing with her hockey program for how many years, and she wants to help me. Like it's I truly honored and humbled about it, and I appreciate her a lot. So
Mhm.
yeah, and she's helped one of my best friends growing up, my line mate, Ryan Baptiste he runs chuck wagons, and help just helping him do it too. And, I played with him a lot of years and won a lot of championships with him too. And it's like right when he was a kid, I just was my line mate along with Cody Peterson, Aaron Starr, those are the guys that I just, best friend is. So I just wanted to give them a shout out too.
Mhm.
Because I know you're watching. Just kidding.
Well, man, honestly, we're just over an hour here,
Okay.
but I think this is the first time we've ever actually met.
Yeah.
In like we've been talking for a
Yeah.
while, back and forth, but yeah, I think this is the first time we've actually ever met.
Like I say, bro, it's meant to happen, right?
Yeah,
Like
man.
I believe that every day, man. I met a family going to Vegas this weekend and she was an older woman, my mom's age, and just took me in like a son and her daughter was there and now they want me to go sweat there and
Mm,
almost family, like they were gonna adopt me too. So it's I feel like it's just meant to happen and where I'm at right now. So I'm not gonna whatever happens, it's in the creator's hands.
yeah. Well, I can tell what you're doing is good, and I
Yeah.
can tell that it's coming from a good place.
No,
I
it
can
is,
tell
bro.
by how you say it.
Yeah.
I can tell by just like how you're sharing it. Um,
Oh,
yeah, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see
yeah.
how you move forward with this. Okay.
I'm very superstitious, knock on wood. So I appreciate too. Like, I've been trying to come here for how long?
I
But,
just
like,
our schedule just never
I'm
aligned.
like
Honestly, I think we were supposed to do this the weekend of the Freddy, right? But then I was gone that weekend, I
yeah, and
think.
before, like, right, like, a
Yeah,
year.
man.
Like, oh, well, it's
Yeah,
happened, and
now's the time.
happy.
No better time than now.
Yeah.
Or
Hopefully, I
something.
don't go outside and get hit by a bus.
Well, at least we got this done.
Creator hero.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to just touch on, or if there's any shout outs you want to give before we wrap it up.
No, just, you know, like I said, I'm here to give back. Don't be scared to reach out to me on social media. I'll come and do my thing on your First Nation, or I'm running sessions here all summer long. Um, I got a camp July 17th, 18th, 19th of this month in Saskatoon. But yeah, no, just like you said, yeah, I wanted to touch on that, the dreams that kids have, the why, right? You gotta don't be scared to chase your dreams. Don't be scared to look up to anybody. It doesn't have to play in the NHL, doesn't have to be Mike Tyson, doesn't have to be, I don't even know if they know Hulk Hogan anymore, but you know what I mean? And it could be anybody, and don't ever quit what you love. Like, keep chasing, chase, chase, chase till one day you're can't chase no more. But you're never gonna unlove the sport or unlove what you love. So keep going. And yeah, if anything's ever bothering you, reach out, or like I said, go for that walk. A walk is huge. Like, I remember when I was young, even a bike ride, you come home and it's all different. So you go for a walk, nature's there, or the city, you can go down to the river. I always tell my kids when we pass the river, you don't see that every day. So take it in, you know. But those are the things I appreciate you for having me. I'm very humbled here to be here. And you need anything, I'm always here, man.
So, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. That
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.